going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Voice of Bedlam Live. I'm your host, Andrew Santoro. We got a great show planned for you guys today. Wrapping up Week 9. Coming into the home stretch of the season. Playoff talk starting. There's a lot of heated battles coming up. But let's see what's going on with Devil John first. John, how you doing?
Well, Senor Devil Juan, or Diablo Juan, numero uno. And Joker picks.
Joker.
Yeah, I did. And for my once again for my non-Spanish speaking friends, yes, your buddy Devil John right here in Pick'ems, number 1 in JokerChoker.com. So JokerChoker.com, go there right now and enter Bedlam and come join the fun. Because oh yeah, that's right, I'm winning.
Yeah, but we'll get more. We'll let you guys hear a little bit more about Joker Choker in just a bit. So I feel like we've gotten away from the daily breakdown a little bit. So we're gonna get rid of the scores music and we're gonna just rock in this daily breakdown. And there's some headlines we can talk about too, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, I think we should start off with a nice big play, a 95-yard reception for Mike Wallace. John, now, did you catch that play?
I want to say yes because.
Oh, you had to catch the highlights of it.
Yes, I did, but the reason why I say it with such reluctancy is because Mr. Wallace was sitting on my bench against Colin, and those 30 points would have sure looked great on the scoreboard and not on the bench.
4 receptions, 124 yards with that 95-yard.
And Steve Smith
touchdown.
came back. Steve Smith came back, so it was good to see him.
Yeah, also 4 reception, 47 yards, no touchdowns, and that is in the win over an AFC North rival, Pittsburgh Steelers, 21-14.
Yeah.
Now,
that was one of the 4 that I got wrong. Honestly, although I should have really picked the Ravens in this one because if everybody's keeping track, which I'm trying to keep track of myself here, I picked the Ravens to be one of their division leaders. So I don't know why.
Yeah, you were about
them.
that all off season.
Yeah, and I doubted them on this game, and when it counted, and I lost the points for that. So
all right, but let's get things. Let's roll off these scores.
Yeah, let's do. Other than that, that Raiders game, I know that was the highlight of the week for me because that was just a really good game. Also, watching the Panthers win was good, but that 30-20 over Denver is just it's great to see Oakland back. Silver and black is back, baby.
Silver is black, ready to attack.
Just win, baby. Let's go through the rest of these scores though, and you want to hear some music too?
That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, you want to hear some music?
Yeah,
Okay. Let's hear some music.
All right. Now, let's start things off. Atlanta trouncing Tampa Bay 43-28. Baltimore over Pittsburgh, that game we were just talking about a second ago. AFC North battle. Baltimore out on top 21-14. Dallas sole possession of first place in the NFC East. 7-1 for the Cowboys. 35-10 over the Cleveland Browns. Kansas City taking out Jacksonville. Another tough loss for Gus Bradley. Even tougher for the quarterback. I want to say Blaine Gabbert. Jacksonville.
Blaine Gabbert?
No, Jacksonville's quarterback.
Jacksonville?
Yeah.
You want to try? Because Blaine's out in San Francisco.
Yes.
Blake Bortles.
There you go.
Yes, but
he's about to be in the Gabbert zone. Blake Bortles. You know what I mean? He's really down.
Ooh.
I mean, a lot of people thought in this year.
He's thrown a lot of
this year he could really step up and maybe take that next stride. But that whole Jacksonville team is a mess. We'll get to that a little bit later on. But Miami over the Jets. Jets are a mess. What else is new? 27-23. Detroit over Minnesota. Minnesota losing 3 straight. 22-16. Final OT. Giants on top of the game. Giants never lost the lead. 28-23. Now in second place in the division. Philadelphia dead last. Carolina 13-10 over the Rams. New Orleans 41-23 over Colin Kaepernick, Chip Kelly, and the rest of the San Francisco 49ers. Indy upset in Green Bay 31-26. Green Bay losing at Lambeau. San Diego 43 over Tennessee with 35. High scoring game. Yep. No defense really on either side of the ball. Oakland taking out Denver by 10.
Oh, so 30 to 20
victor.
All right.
And then Sunday Night Football, Seattle over Buffalo, 31-25. Buffalo looking to be in some trouble. Now
that was an interesting Monday night game.
Do you want to start off recapping Monday?
Yeah, it's worth it. But honestly, I think that the game of the week has to go to the Sunday night game. That Denver-Oakland game is going to show you who's going to be the AFC leader going into it, because the AFC West is just stacked with talent. And
it's all about the AFC West and the NFC East.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on right now. And then, so now for the AFC, there's one wild card slot left for 3 divisions to fight for.
Well, I mean, the season's only halfway over.
I understand that,
but if
things continue with this, right, with the trends that are going right now, these there's going to be 2 representatives from the AFC West. There's going to be 2 representatives from the NFC East, and there's just it's going to be slim pickings for that last wild card
Things
slot.
are going to get really crazy when it comes closer to playoff time, because with the 4 teams that have ties in their record, those ridiculous scenarios about the teams being on the bubble are going to even be crazier because of all the ties.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It's just going to complicate everything.
But the division wins is the tiebreaker, if I'm not mistaken.
But I mean, it goes through several tiebreakers. I'm talking about for like that 6th and 5th wild card spot. Do you know what I mean? There's all those different scenarios all the time when you get to like week 13. I'm just saying there's going to be even more with the splits in the games. But let's talk about this Raiders game, a game where Latavius Murray ran for 114 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, and that's against the defending Super Bowl champs defense.
Yeah, they went out there, they punched him in the face, and they kept it on the ground. And not only that, Derek Carr is the business. And I said it in the beginning of the year, and some people did not jump on board. But fortunately, a smart individual that shares the room with me right now did agree with my statement of the Oakland Raiders being, a top contender this year.
Absolutely, completely agree. And now they are on top of the AFC West after this win.
They just need to polish up that defense a little bit better.
Now, Derek Carr. Derek Carr. Derek Carr.
Because you keep calling him David.
Not throw for a touchdown in this game, completing 20 of 31 for only 184 yards. But as we said, Murray had that big game on the ground, 114 yards, 3 touchdowns. Amari Cooper also having a low game, 6 receptions, 56 yards. Now, how long are they going to keep Trevor Siemian out there?
Well, honestly, he's the guy out there for them for a while, and if the team starts becoming vocal about not believing in him, then that's when John Elway is going to make the move. Because honestly, last year I'm sure there was some criticisms about like, come on, why we got to pull Grandpa to the finish line? This is ridiculous. Why don't you put somebody in that could throw a little bit better or can move a little bit faster? I'm sure there was a few people that were moaning and groaning. So with that being said, until someone vocally comes out and says, hey, I I question the leadership ability of Trevor Siemian. I think he's going to continue getting the starts there because they've gotten a few wins with him, so they're gonna stick with him.
Now, Trevor Siemian, 10 touchdowns on the year, 5 interceptions. He's been sacked 13 times. Now, second-year pro coming out of Northwestern. I mean, that alone right there just sounds like a backup.
Pretty much. Well, it's not. It doesn't scream number one, top 10 wide receiver, a quarterback, combination. And they got decent wide receivers, so it's not like he doesn't have talent to throw to. But 5 TDs and 5 INTs this far in the season, definitely not good numbers. That, as you eloquently said, that does sound like backup numbers.
Okay, now let's move on from this game and talk about a 1 o'clock matchup, NFC East for second place. Now, if the Cowboys would have lost, that would have been a lot better. But
your
Giants
boy got to throw
Eagles,
up the deuces.
the Giants and the Eagles matchup in the Meadowlands. Eli Manning, 2 touchdowns in less than 6 minutes. Giants with 2 positive turnovers in less than 6 minutes to take the early lead. Now, this is a game the Giants never lost the lead in, but they did start to see some of those boneheaded mistakes did start to surface, but they never even lost the lead. They were in command the entire time. They could have just won even more favorably, the game being 28-23. But the real thing I want to talk about here is Eli Manning and his 4 touchdowns. Eli Manning, 22 for 36, 257 yards, 4 touchdowns. Now, there's also 2 interceptions. And now this, real quick, this pisses me off because I feel like this is the knock on Eli all the time. Now, if you watch this game, one of these is extremely, controversial. If anything, it looked like it should have been a strip, not an interception. You can't fault the quarterback when the wide receiver has it in his arms and the defender pulls it out. That still goes down as an interception for Eli. The other one was off a batted ball that I believe hit a wide receiver first. Once again, can't blame Eli Manning. So the guy has a great game. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then gets those 2 interceptions, which did make the Giants a little nervous. Now, they never lost the lead, but this game ends on a 4th and 10 end zone attempt from the 15 with the Eagles trying to go ahead for the go-ahead score as time expires. But that didn't happen, luckily. The Giants were able to hold them, but that second Manning interception is what gave the Eagles such good field position. And I feel like that reflects Eli negatively. The same thing when Ruben Randall was still on the team. Every ball was hitting him in the hands and bouncing it into the defenders. And they're all going on Eli's stats. And then Eli gets this bad rap. Eli Manning is a great quarterback. He had a great performance this Sunday against a team that he traditionally plays bad against, and it makes me mad that other people's mishaps really reflect him the most when he had a great game.
The fact that your team almost laid down in the 4th quarter should scare you a little bit because it's not putting up any points at all in the 4th, to solidify that victory, to make sure that point margin supports you through the victory.
But the defense did its job, though.
Defense, the
defense has been doing its job for a couple consecutive weeks now, especially forcing turnovers, finally.
Yes, that is one of those things that was one of the points that I always kind of joked on about the Giants was that they had a lot of holes in their defense, but they're definitely addressed the weak points in that defense, and obviously you have done a lot of homework against your divisional foe, and this time you walk out with a W.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the wide receivers, Odell Beckham, 4 receptions, 46 yards, 2 touchdowns, almost had 3. Sterling Shepard, 3 receptions, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Lewis Murphy Jr. also with a touchdown coming from Manning. The Giants' run game still non-existent. Believe it or not, Shane Vereen leads the Giants in rushing. Guy hasn't played for 5 weeks.
That's ridiculous.
Still, and it's only 146 yards.
Well, the running game from the Eagles wasn't much better. But,
no. Before halftime, they didn't even... At halftime, the two teams didn't even combine for 60 yards on the ground. Giants only had 11.
Wow.
And the lead. The Giants had 11 yards on the ground and the lead.
But what does 364 yards allowed by the Giants defense say going into next week, though, for as a fan?
Well, I mean, the Eagles were playing down most of the game. Well, no, the Eagles were playing down from the first 3 minutes. They were down. So they're going to be passing a lot. Wentz also threw those two early interceptions. So I would like the Giants, their red zone stats have got to be out of this world because Doug Peterson went for it on 4th down twice.
Yes.
Well, no. Doug Peterson went down for it on 4th down 4 times, but 2 of them were early in the game and questionable when they were in chip shot field goal range. So
take the points.
I really think a lot of that changed, but the Giants were holding up in the red zone, which is ultimately all that's important. This is the second week in a row where the Giants let the teams go right down the field.
Yeah,
but then somehow they pull up in the red zone. Now, if they can keep that going, that sounds like old school Giants to me, and I would love it. But of course, yeah, I would love to see the yards per game come down for the opposing offense.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering how you felt as a fan, just because that's got to be scary to allow that many consecutive points and not put up anything in answering of it. Because if you're gonna be lackadaisical on defense towards the end of the game, then your offense still has to produce.
Yeah, see, what really happened here is these interceptions. Now, the one with Beckham, I don't understand that one. At first, everybody's like, oh, it's a terrible call. Yeah. There's no way that's a strip. And but then they ruled it an interception, and I don't understand how. But the Giants also had that blocked kick in this that JPP blocked. Janoris Jenkins got up and ran with it and then fumbled it, but the Giants landed on top. But okay, I think we've talked about
yeah, you want to take a trip over to LA and talk about that Panthers
over at the game? Coliseum.
Yeah, old division foe, because back when they were the St. Louis Rams, they used to play in the same division.
Yes.
See, a little history for people that are new to the game of foosball.
All right, so where do you want to start? Do you want to be looking at Case Keenum, Cam Newton?
Cam Newton had a pretty decent day of 20 completions out of 32 attempts. But honestly, the production from the defense from Carolina was what I was most impressed with. Seeing Greg Olsen get involved early was nice, but then again, seeing the swagger and a little bit of smile back in Cam, because these last couple weeks there was a lot of questionable calls and things that needed to be addressed, and luckily he had that one-on-one meeting with Roger Goodell, and there was a lot of people that were trying to fish out what he discussed with Roger Goodell, and I think he handled that very very well with the media. He was like, I'm here to answer questions about Los Angeles, and I think that's exactly what the approach should have been, because it was a closed door conversation, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm surprised he'd be smiling with those 5 sacks that the Rams dealt to him, though.
Yeah, we had Ower had a concussion. He was still going through protocol. So we're missing some pieces in that interior line, but honestly, it was pretty ugly. On both sides, and Carolina's, if they're going to make this push towards making the playoffs, they're really going to have to, I'm glad that this defense has stepped up, especially in the pass rushing game, but honestly, we gotta spread this ball around a little bit more. Jonathan Stewart's got to get involved a little bit more. I think the combination between him and Cameron Artis-Payne will be a good combination, or maybe even using Fozzie Whitaker, using three backs to try to get the ground game a little bit more established, so it takes a little bit off of Cam Newton needing to run.
Yeah, Stewart's only only averaging 2.8 yards a carry. Now, Cam Newton being sacked 5 times, Stewart only averaging 2.8 a carry, Wink Newton runs only averaging 2.3 a carry. What is going on with Carolina's offensive line?
What's going on? Well, there's a couple key pieces missing. Like I said, Michael Ower's out right now, and he's one of those veterans that that we picked up, I believe 2 years ago, to basically fix up this line to push for the playoffs, in which last year worked out very well for us. But this year, it seems like the injuries and just the overall I guess just the defensive teams that we've been going up against. Remember, the first game was up against Denver, although the Raiders seem to show you how exactly you beat them. And it's definitely it's like I said, I'm just happy to see the defense showing up, because in the beginning of the season did not look very well, and especially with Luke Kuechly running around a little bit more flustered than he looks, because he's always running around erratically. That's one of the attributes about his play that I always liked, is that it looks like he's like a man on, like with a house on fire or something, because he's always on the field and he's always making that play. He's always there and he's always moving. But Thomas Davis still doing his thing, and I feel good about the momentum going forward, but this offense really has to start putting more points on the board, especially going down the road against tougher opponents, especially next week against the Chefs.
Now, how long, the big storyline I'm getting out of this from Los Angeles would be the chance throughout the Coliseum, we want Goff. Now, Case Keenum has thrown 9 touchdowns to 11 interceptions for 2,004 yards with a 77.2 rating. How long until Jared Goff sees the field? The Rams are going down in flames. They started out nice. They had a little, rookie magic, if you want. I'm calling the team a rookie, fresh off the move, like a little, beginner's luck, if you will. And it seems to have faded out. How long till the real rookie gets his shot and we see some games from Jared Goff, now that these Rams have lost quite a few straight? 3-5 now, the Rams are.
At this point, I can't be surprised if they start next week.
Yeah, the team's saying no. Jeff Fisher's saying no. They're saying they don't want him at all this year.
I don't know. But then again, if the GM has anything to say about that,
that's also true.
He really doesn't have anything to say then, because if the paying customers are chanting "We want Goff,"
and they want to sell jerseys,
something's gonna happen.
Yeah. Now Carolina had lost 4 straight, but now they've won 2 straight.
Correct.
Can they capitalize?
Yes.
Continue to win out?
Defensively, we're looking awesome for a little while. I thought the running game, the O-line needs to, once we get Michael Ower back in, which he had a concussion, so I think he will be back maybe within the next, maybe this week coming up. So maybe having him back will help solidify this running game, because Jonathan Stewart went off and had 2 TDs the week prior. So, and we need that type of production in order to open up this passing game, because Kelvin Benjamin's having a good returning year, I should say, and also the carousel of second rate wide receivers this year is still interesting, because Devin Funchess is still out there, and I feel good about the offense, but they just really need to start putting up more points in order for me to feel a little more confident in that. But the defense is starting to show up, so it still makes me nervous, because that wild card slot, man, it's rough. 3 divisions: the South, North, and the West, fighting for that one spot.
All right, well, let's move over to a team that was real hot and a heavy favorite to possibly even go to the Super Bowl.
And then
if
they
you
took
were
a
talking
bye week.
if you were talking to the team in the offseason. Now let's look at the Minnesota Vikings here. Adrian Peterson comes out and says he thinks this team can be special, magical this year, and they have a Super Bowl run in them. Teddy Bridgewater seems to be growing into an adult quarterback, and then the two most important pieces to that team are gone. They trade for Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford comes in. Nobody believes in him. Doesn't even participate in the offseason workout with the team, coming via trade from the Eagles after they drafted Carson Wentz. Now, Bradford rattles off 5 straight wins. Starts off the season 5-0 for the Purple People Eaters in a new stadium, in a new system. Not been injured, playing great, goes on by, loses 3 straight. This one, a big loss to Matt Stafford, a division rival, in overtime. Now, the Vikings took a 16-13 lead with 23 seconds to play on a 1-yard run, but
Rhett Elson.
Yeah. Ran it in on the 1-yard run, but they still couldn't capitalize, letting the Lions get the ball back, kick it, that long field goal to go into overtime, and leading Matt Stafford to a 28-yard touchdown pass to Golden Tate, who flipped over the goal line unnecessarily, by the way.
So as much as we talked crap about Sam Bradford, you really can't really blame him too much for that loss, because 31 completions out of 40 is not terrible.
Yeah, 273 yards and a touchdown.
So if anything, it's just overall, I think that
Bradford only 1 interception on the year.
Well, now we see that Purple Rain has turned to Purple Drizzle ever since that bye week. That bye week kind of just destroyed them. But I think the solidifying factor was when the Philadelphia Eagles went up against Sam Bradford and exposed him for who he was as a quarterback. And then now, like we said previous episodes ago, now every NFL team has the formula of how to shut Sam Bradford down. But obviously that formula did not completely work out, because the man still completed a lot of passes and only missed 9. So...
Well, now his numbers are improving. Coming off the bye, week 7, facing his old team, the Philadelphia Eagles, they give him his first loss of the season, a 21-10 loss. In that game, he only completed 58.5% of his passes for 224 yards. Then the following week, a loss in Chicago, 23 for 37, completing 62% of his passes for 228 yards. Now, in this most recent loss to Detroit, 31 of 40, with a percentage of 77.5, 273 yards, still only a 6.8 average. All his numbers are starting to trend back into the right direction. They still, he's got to be able to get the ball more downfield. The past 3 weeks, he's yet to reach 7 yards average per completion, and it's going to be hard to win games like that, especially without Adrian Peterson. I mean, I know they have a great defense, so I guess they're really just trying to play keep away, but I mean, his numbers are trending up. Let's see if they can get out of this funk that they're in.
Yeah, because I had them as a favorite for a while as the front runner for that other wild card slot, because I was like, well, the South really doesn't stand a chance, so it's either like win the division or you're out at that point. But honestly, I hope to see a little bit more competition out there, but honestly, with Sam Bradford being exposed by his former team, there's going to be a lot of battles coming back out of that. And it's not like he doesn't have targets. He has Stephon Diggs, and I like Stephon Diggs at least too, because he's a good speedster. But I think
Stephon Diggs had 13 receptions, but only 80 yards.
Yeah, but with Hillman and Asiata, barely putting up any yards,
combining for 57.
Yeah, there's you can't do that and win games. You gotta be able to move the ball on the ground as well as through the air. So, but with that being said, you can't also trust, Sam Bradford to, basically give you the W every time.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, real quick, let's remind everybody.
Voice of Bedlam Live.
You guys are tuned into Voice of Bedlam Live on the All In Sports Talk Network.
Yeah.
I am your host, Andrew Santoro. As always, I got my main man, Devil John, with me on the mic and on the boards on this Tuesday show, recapping Week 9 NFL action. You guys can catch us Tuesday and Friday nights. Tuesday at 8 p.m. and Fridays at 9 p.m. Also, they'll be syndicating the show throughout the day, so you guys can always catch us. And if you miss any part of the show, you guys can make sure you head over to voiceofbedlam.com. You guys can get links to the show in podcast form. You can hear all 80 or so of our episodes, so head over to voiceofbedlam.com now. Check out all the posts we got up there. Check out the video podcast, audio podcast, and all the other great content we got for you. Also, we're on Facebook, facebook.com/VOBpod. Hit me up on Twitter at Andrew Bedlam. And, let's chat it up, doing it up on social media. We're on Instagram, Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever podcasts are found, and always on the All In Sports Talk Network.
In your neighborhoods.
Remember, you guys can get the All In Sports Talk app from the App Store, Google Play Store, whatever.
It's if you have a smartphone or what you think is a high-tech device in your hand, you can get it in the App Store. So go ahead, search All In Sports app, and come join the party and join the rest of the great content that they have to offer.
Now, I got to say something here, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're going to promote ourselves, and we got to promote the network, but we're telling people how to find us.
Correct.
If they hear this, they already know where to find us.
Well, then you need to spread this to other friends and things. Like, that's what expected. We understand. Hey, we're trying to be business guys here. All right, we're serious here. No, this is I'm actually I take this very seriously. I know you take this very seriously, and not only that, I'm the All In Sports app. They believe in this show and the content that we provide, and honestly, thank you to everybody out there for supporting the show. And I know these last couple of weeks we've been really busy because I don't know, there's a lot of spinning plates when you're running a show, and I don't think a lot of people think about those things. They think, hey guys, it's real easy, you just sit behind a table and you just talk sports and stuff, but there's a lot of things that go behind the scenes, and
especially when you run Pogo City Radio as well.
Indeed, and when you're an active musician, it's hard to balance everything. But honestly, I think we do a darn good job of providing authentic and factual information to people, because we're dudes. Like, we're not gonna be sitting here with the suit and tie, working for the
man,
the league.
The man.
No, we're men with a plan.
But real quick now, we're gonna wrap up Week 9, and before we start previewing
thank you guys,
Week 10 with our JokerChoker.com Pro Football Pick'em Poker Picks, we're gonna throw in a little segment that we haven't done in quite a while called the 4-Minute Hut.
The 4-Minute Hut.
The what?
4-Minute Hut.
All right. Now, the 4-Minute Hut is a topic discussion that we like to have here on Voice of Bedlam Live. Now, we really haven't been doing it since we moved over to the network with the All In Sports Talk, but we like to do it a lot during the off season. But with today being Tuesday, November
Election
8th,
Tuesday,
a date I've been trying to get over with because I'm tired of all this politics crap, why don't we talk a little bit, dare I say, of politics, with today being election day. Now, not that we really need to talk politics, but I
You
mean,
just want to throw salt in the open wounds
we got
for people
it's election
there's a lot
day.
of people
This
that
has
are
been the
posterior
craziest.
hurt.
This has been the craziest election of all time. I mean, it was absolutely
Everybody
ridiculous.
says that. Think about
no,
the,
but the
the
Bush and
Kerry
Gore,
election. Think about the.
But this is the first time
Gore
in
and Bush.
international, Russia's, really talking about our election a bit.
Well,
And
that's
the
because
first time
they
that's
have
ever
dirt
happened.
on Donald Trump because Donald Trump can't get a wife in the States, so he has to go over to Chechnya and Yugoslavia and all those other places and stuff because he can't find a woman here that will rightfully, call themselves wife.
But we don't need to worry about that. But since this is a show and we're gonna
Just
get
grab them
in
by the
to
leg,
our
right?
pick'ems, and we're gonna get into our pick'ems.
Yeah.
Who will win, and by how much?
I have Hillary by 64% of the vote.
See,
Because although I personally believe more libertarian, I voted libertarian.
oh yeah, I voted libertarian too.
So
There you
I'm
go,
not even
Gary
gonna lie.
Johnson.
Yeah,
we got
so-
your back.
yeah, see.
But I think Hillary will win, and even more of a landslide. I think Hillary will win by. I think she'll get 70%.
The reason why I'm not afraid to say that is because I think the conversation needs to stop being black and white or left and right, and we need to
More
start
red
looking
and blue
and look in
than black
between
and
the
white.
lines and be gray
Or
know what I mean?
purple.
Or purple, whatever.
and blue.
I don't-
It is
I don't-
red and
I don't
blue.
care. But what I'm saying is there's issues in the middle, right, where the left and the right meet that we all have a common ground on. Why aren't we focusing on that instead of trying to be bipartisan and create this divisive tool amongst ourselves? Because quite honestly, it's all a matter of opinion and a matter of perception of what we see. But honestly, if you want to see a change, then I guess you just always have to be the change.
Well, I think I agree with you, and I think that's why we both voted for Johnson. Now, we both know that Johnson has absolutely no shot whatsoever of winning the election as the libertarian representative. But the numbers for the third party, not necessarily, the libertarians are leading with the third parties, but especially the Green Party, Libertarian Party, they're really starting to grow, and I just think that with more people, we have to make it grow. That's the only way there's ever going to be another choice.
Yeah, but the reason why I didn't vote for Hillary is because of what the war on drugs did for the private sector of the industrial prison complex. Because through the war on drugs, they've incarcerated more people than almost any other administration, and it's disgusting because that 13th Amendment. If I don't know if shout out to this movie. I'm giving them a free plug just because I think everybody needs to watch it. Get on Netflix and watch the 13th. It's eye opening, and honestly, it's disgusting to see that because of the use of a term called criminal, how from the Reagan administration's and basically Truman's behind the scenes dealing of this basically created an all-out race war and called it the war on drugs in a sense. But as long as you call it a criminal, it's all right. But watch the 13th. It's disgusting what we've done to citizens, but then again, it's disgusting what we've done to the Native Americans. Which I really don't even know why I even say that. I would just say the native dwellers that were here and that we committed genocide on.
No. Hold up. I don't want to get too soapboxy.
I know,
but we didn't do squat. I was not there.
No, but
I don't put myself with the guilty just because my ancestors' may or may not have been on a boat. No, I don't know those people.
I just believe in that karma of the sense of this. All right, if you reap what you sow. All right, so I believe many ideologies believe in that. So in that sense, where there is a lot of blood on your hands, that karma. And to right those wrongs takes a lot of time.
I kind of hear you, but there's no blood on my hands. I didn't kill any Native American Indians, whatever.
If we call ourselves American, right, then we also stand behind the imperialistic nature of what brought us to this point.
No, that's not true. That's not true because I did not have any say in that. I think as long as I have a say and my say opposes what the masses may,
Well,
maybe
then
not
if you-
necessarily the masses, but
well, if you believe that, then there's a lot of natives right now trying to fight for
the pipeline.
The pipeline. So
all over that on Facebook. Let's get off politics.
All right.
But everybody knows about
But
the pipeline.
hey, you wanted
and
to
I'm
do-
sure everybody
you wanted
knows.
to bring back the 4-minute hut.
I'm sure everybody knows what our opinion is.
Oh yeah, well, honestly, I don't care what side of the fence you're on. Let's just have, all I ask is that we have a civil conversation. Stop hiding behind this and talking crap and say, I'm gonna kill you and your mother. I'm gonna, look at your face. No, stop being a telephone tough guy, guys, and let's have serious adult conversations about things. Because basically, when you're doing this, you're filling the world full of BS and your mama's breast milk, in a sense. All right? So why don't we get rid of the BS and the breast milk, and let's work with things that are tangible and be adults.
I dealt with more phone tough guys than I ever have in my life this past week.
Yeah, granted, we all get that luxury of
Nothing
being
to do with
safe.
the election, by the way. None of it didn't have anything to do with the election. Different,
I got you. Yeah.
different subject.
Yeah, I got you, but it's all relative, because people feel really secure when they're behind their phone, but when they see these people in face, most of the time these comments don't come out of their mouth. Actually, you know what? They probably hold the door open for you. But here's the thing: be consistent, guys. And use the philosophy of, hey, before I type this really hateful comment, would I say this to this person's face? Because if you would, then guess what? You're an a-hole, just like some of my other friends and myself. So, welcome to the party. But until then, let's get into these pick'ems, because I believe I'm number one. So everybody wants to hear how these picks go down, because they want to see the victorious Devil Juan.
Yeah, John up at number one.
Yeah, man, number one. I feel
Going
great about
after that prize.
Yeah, man, I'm going for it. So that's why I'm saying. So go to jokerchoker.com, enter the code name BEDLAM. That's Bedlam for you people that can't read and spell. I still love you. Still love you. So I'm going to help you out. BEDLAM, Bedlam is your promo code, and you're going to get some bonus coins to come play with us at jokerchoker.com.
Yeah, jokerchoker.com is the home of Joker Choker Pro Football Pick'em Poker, a new style of pro football pick'ems that brings the strategy of poker to the game of football. Now, we play this here every week. We love Joker Choker.
I love
it's
it
how
now.
we do all of our picks. I'm a Texas Hold'em fan, so I like it. Now, each team, if you go to jokerchoker.com, sign up, use our promo code Bedlam to play for free. You guys can win $500. If you guys go there and you pick a team, every team has a poker card next to them. If you pick that team to win and make it your Joker Choker pick, you will also acquire that team's poker card and try and build the best poker hand possible while simultaneously picking NFL games.
Yes, like last week, how the Pittsburgh Steelers losing to the Ravens costed me my full house, but I still walked away with a 3 of a kind. So, that 3 of a kind got me a 4-point lead in the leaderboard. So let's since Colin is not here, he did send us
you wanna run
some
through
Joker
his?
Chokers. You want to run through his?
Yeah,
first?
yeah, let's run through his.
Because he's kind of sneaking up. He's in 12th place right now, but he's kind of sneaking up on us a little bit. But the biggest thing that I'm going to say is Mr. Bedlam over here is I believe in 5th right now. Mm-hmm. So we're top 5 within the VOB crew.
Yep.
And jokerchoker.com, top five. Yes. So believe in us. Go to jokerchoker.com. Be cool like us, and then maybe you might just be lucky.
Cool like us.
Yeah, be cool or knowledgeable like us. Come on, man. We know we the cool kids. We sat at the cool kids table. which was everywhere in high school, apparently.
Wherever we were.
Yeah, it's wherever we were. Yeah, it's wherever we were, because it was like a thing. But here we go. Colin is going to be going with the Ravens over the Browns. I think that's an easy pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The Vikings over the Redskins. I don't know, Lucy. Anywho, Green Bay Packers over the Titans. I can see that. The Steelers over the Dallas Cowboys. Uh-oh.
I disagree.
Somebody is gambling hard for his Joker Choker here. But,
What card did that pick get him?
For the Steelers,
Yeah.
it would give him a 5 because it looks like he might have made a mistake in not choosing the Redskins over the Vikings, because it looks like he was trying to go for 3 of a kind with 5s and a pair of queens to
So a
suit
full
that
house.
full house. But
Stuck
I
with
think
2 pair. He did it wrong.
so let me correct that for him, because I believe he wanted to go with Washington, giving him
Yeah, that makes more sense.
that 5. So yeah, that makes sense. Then we have the Patriots over the Seahawks, giving him a queen. So, like I said, 2 queens from the Patriots, and the Ravens giving him those queens, and then 3 5s. So, full house.
Okay. Now, I guess I'll go next. All right, I have some similar picks. I'm also taking the Baltimore Ravens over the Cleveland Browns. I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles over the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this is an interesting game. This is a game where I do feel more confident in Atlanta. Philadelphia has now lost 3 of 4, but I can get the ace of hearts for the Philadelphia Eagles. I see Atlanta as an inconsistent team. One week they put up 50, the next week they let a terrible team drop 40 on them. You know? So hopefully for these picks, the Eagles can take out Atlanta and give me that ace of hearts. I will take the Houston Texans over the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Arizona Cardinals over the San Francisco 49ers, and the New England Patriots over the Seattle Seahawks, giving me the aces over queens. Now, the game that I am most uncertain with being the Philadelphia Eagles and Atlanta Falcons. If I am wrong on that game and Atlanta comes out on top, I still will have 2 pair aces and queens. But right now, going for that full house.
Yeah, I hear you. I am following, all 3 of us seem to be really attracted to the ladies.
Hey, ladies.
So I'm going with the Ravens over the Browns as well, and the Patriots taking out the Seahawks to give me those ladies.
Girls, boom, 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 boom. All I really want is girls.
Especially a pair of girls, because John is number 1. Now, San Francisco, I'm going to take them over the Cardinals to give me the king of clubs. Then I'm going to have my Carolina Panthers over the Chefs, giving me the king of hearts. Then the Denver Broncos over the Saints, giving me the king of diamonds. So that's a full house with treat gangs and those pair of ladies.
See, now we are in agreement with the pair of ladies, but I have an ace of diamonds that I got by taking the Arizona Cardinals, who are playing the San Francisco 49ers. We disagree in this game. We're both using them as our JokerChoker.com Pro Football Pick'em picks.
Sometimes that's the way
Why
the
do you
cookie
like
crumbles.
the Niners?
Why do I like the Niners? Because Arizona's defense seemed pretty shoddy against the Carolina Panthers, and quite honestly, the running game from the 49ers is not terrible, and as long as they can open up that running game a little bit, I think that plus once again, let me put on my broken record. Hold on a second. Let me put it on, and boom, boom. It's a divisional game. It's a divisional game. It's a flip of the coin. It's a divisional game.
Are you really left-handed?
Yeah, I'm left-handed, dude. Yeah, see, yeah, I'm articulate. But numbers, don't ask me about numbers. All right, guys, don't do numbers. I do colors and words really well. But honestly, though, it's a divisional game. There's no, it's a flip of the coin. Honestly, I know I've said that plenty of times. So, you know what? Let's make a shirt about that. Let's make a picture of me flipping a coin. It's like, hey, it's division. You know, but honestly, that's really what it is. And I think San Francisco really does have a chance. But not only that, Joker Choker has brought out the worst gambler's attitude in me, because it's like, I really want that king. And it's like, all right, well, I'm going to go with San Francisco to get me that king.
All right. See, now, I see this as a game of two bad teams, all right? I just see the Cardinals as less bad simply because I like their roster better and I like their coach better. I like the organization better. I think this is a bad year for the Cardinals. I think this is a standard year for the Niners. Now, the Niners were at the top, or close to it, the top of the NFL with Jim Harbaugh, and then they decided to let it all fall and crumble to pieces. And I mean, I do like Arizona's running game better than San Francisco's. I like Arizona's quarterback better than San Francisco. I like Arizona's wide receivers better than San Francisco's. I like Arizona's kicker better than San Francisco's.
Do you like their macaroni and cheese better than San Francisco's?
Yeah, I'm not feeling San Francisco.
What about the rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat? Rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat. Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm hoping that they bring a San Francisco treat and give me a W over those Arizona Cardinals. I don't know. I just don't. I don't think that Arizona's that team that they used to be, and especially with them being as old as they are. Larry Fitzgerald in his last year. It's a toss up. Arizona was always that retirement team to me, because think about it, when Emmitt Smith left Dallas
to get the rushing title, he went there just to get the rushing title.
Exactly. It seemed like everything after that, like, everybody went there to go retire. Carson Palmer left the Raiders, goes down there.
He had a nice. I mean, even look at Kurt Warner. But just like Carson Palmer, Kurt Warner really resurrected his career, just like Carson Palmer did. Carson Palmer left the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, he was on a lot of people's crap list.
Then he went to the Raiders.
He went. He went to the Raiders. Yeah.
And then from the Raiders to the Cardinals. So that's what I'm saying. He was used, abused, and then passed on.
That's just like Kurt Warner going to the Giants, though.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, after that. Yep. Because, although Kurt Warner, every time you say his name, like, I always think about him in that Rams uniform.
Oh, well, absolutely. I always think of Carson Palmer as
secondary as a Cardinal.
I think you have to. I mean, he won the Super Bowl with the Rams. It was an amazing story. I mean, I think Kurt Warner is one of the best stories in the NFL. I mean, anytime that someone has like an issue with their child or a disabled child, his I believe it's his stepson was like born blind. You know what I mean? Like, he never saw anything.
Well, Doug Flutie was like that. He was very charitable. The Flutie Flakes.
Wayne Corbett had
Waynos or something like that.
I don't think it was called Waynos.
Waynos? I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm just taking a guess here.
Just him, not even being able to be cutting it in the arena leagues and everything. Just like stocking groceries at night and just coming in off the couch after Green. And Green was thought to be like the next big thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just comes in and somehow, pulls it all together and goes on a magical run. I just think it's one of the best stories.
And he put up a decent career after that, even.
Absolutely, he would have been the first quarterback to win the Super Bowl with separate teams. Now, Peyton Manning did that with the Indianapolis Colts, and then last year with the Denver Broncos. But Kurt Warner could have done it, and almost did if they would have took out Big Ben. But they had that huge. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald had that huge touchdown in like the final 2 minutes of the Super Bowl. I remember watching him run down the field, and he was looking at himself in the jumbotron.
Yeah,
And
plus, it was they don't swing
it out then.
closer to like my team, I guess you could say, was Jake Delhomme. Jake Delhomme was in he was in the Canadian League, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Jake Delhomme took you guys to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So
I hated
another
Jake
one.
Delhomme.
So another one of those, you know, guys that was like worked from the bottom and made it to the Super Bowl.
I never liked him for
lost
some reason.
to the, you know, the field goal there, but it was close.
One of those
John
Brady
Fox
games.
years.
One of those Brady games. And John Fox going back to the New York Giants.
Yeah.
In their Super Bowl loss to the Baltimore Ravens.
Which we had to take out the Rams to get to that Super Bowl, and those Rams were no joke. No joke.
Walking down a painful memory road.
I remember working at Panera Bread, and the playoff game was going on, and I tried my darndest to get off because I was like, you know, the Panthers of all teams, like this is, everybody clowned me for being a Panthers fan. And at first, everybody was like clowning me because you're a Raiders fan. Oh, you're just following your dad. And it's like, oh well, I'll find my own team. Yeah, so I chose the Panthers, and then people are like, they're booty, and it's like, yeah, they are kind of booty. And now they're not booty. They're in the Super Bowl, and now we're back to being
not
booty
so
again.
much this year.
Yeah, but we're
they did win though.
Yeah, we're fighting. We're fighting against the wall right now, though.
You got to beat bad teams before you can beat good teams, and they beat a bad team.
You know, but back on what I was saying was Jake Delhomme was like one of those other, you know, kind of stories that it's like, hey, no one would have thought to think, hey, maybe a Canadian footballer would have, you know, done well in the NFL, like Doug Flutie did. I know he played some years up in the Canadian Football League, but then again, around that time, we also still had that short stint of the U.S. Football League, the United States Football League.
Donald Trump.
The Donald Trump failed football program. I'm not surprised about that. How many bankruptcies are we up to? 12, 13? I don't know. I lost count. How about you guys? But anywho, but that was also around the time of the running back. Not Marshall, because not Marshall Falk. No.
What team are you talking about?
I'm thinking of like Raiders, Rams, LA era. And then it was a USFL. He became he became an MMA fighter afterwards too. Man, his name is escaping me, and he was like
this was a running back that played for LA.
He played for LA. Yeah. Dang, I am just.
Give me some more though.
But he became an MMA fighter after he was playing football. That's how yeah. There's so many names in my head right now that are like, because I'm like, it's like Bo Jackson, Marshall.
Well, yeah, that's where I was going.
Marcus
Bo
Allen.
Jackson,
It's like,
yeah.
no, that's not even that. No,
I don't even know what time period we're talking.
Herschel Walker.
Oh, Herschel Walker.
There it is. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, hold on. I'll get there one day when the smoke clears. Jeez. No, Herschel Walker. You know, he was one of those guys around that U.S. Football League, you know, era. You know that, you know, there was a lot of guys that got a chance to play at that level, but then they also didn't Vince McMahon also try to do some stuff like that, the XFL. Yeah, that didn't last very long either.
One season.
Yeah, one.
Jersey Hitman won it all. The Philadelphia team won it all. I don't remember. I didn't watch one single game.
But you know who won?
I don't, because I said two different teams.
I know.
I did think that the Jersey Hitmen was a cool team. But
I was being a little bit facetious. But the Jersey Hitman is a dope team.
That's what I'm saying. But before we get out of here, I almost don't want to close the show on it because I feel like it's a damper. But let's talk about some Thursday night football. I hate Thursday night football. I'm sorry, I do. I don't want football on every night because, like, I like football on Sunday. That's when I want my football,
like the Thursday night
and
games,
I
though.
want to be able to watch
Breaks
everything.
up the week.
And you know what? Thursday's hard for me to watch a game. It really is. And I gotta go. I gotta go to work on Sundays too, but on Mondays. But I've never felt Thursday night. It has a bad reputation for giving us bad games, and we got the 0-9 Browns taking on the 4-4 Ravens in a game nobody could care less about.
Yeah, the Ophers are going to lose, and they're going to be 0-10. So if I was the Cleveland Browns, I'd start thinking about what you're going to be doing for scouting for next year.
Yeah, let's start talking about Browns 2017 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I believe they actually might have a shot at a couple good ones. Nothing's coming up yet because I don't know who's going to sign because the college season's still going.
For the draft, you mean?
Yeah, so I don't. We'll see who registers for the draft, but I have the Ravens winning this one, hands down, and possibly reclaiming their status in that division. There, what do you think?
The Ravens have beat them in the last 2 seasons, and they will make the hat trick on Thursday night. And with that, we will have to wrap up this installment of Voice of Bedlam Live. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. It's been a blast. Thanks for checking us out on the All In Sports Talk Network app. And remember, you guys can go to allinsportstalk.com. Hit them up on Twitter at allinsports. Remember, hit us up hit me up really at Andrew Bedlam. It's pretty much the official Twitter for Bedlam. Or you guys can get a hold of John at NJ Devil John. Remember to hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/VOBpod. And as always, make sure you go over to voiceofbedlam.com. That's voiceofbedlam.com. You guys can hear the show in its entirety in podcast form. We're available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Podbean, everywhere podcasts are found. That's going to wrap up the show for this week. Catch you guys on Friday. For my man, Devil John, I am Andrew Bedlam, and we're getting the hell out of here.
Namaste.